I'm Callie with Adventure Rig, and I just finished my P2 rating with Superfly over at Point of the Mountain in Utah. Something that was a bit challenging for me was choosing which harness I was going to go with as a beginner paraglider, and so I thought I'd make a video on my process of choosing the perfect harness for me. Now, I went with a full feature harness, meaning a seat board, back protection, leg straps, as well as a reserve under the seat. I was able to try a few different harnesses and brands while training, and ultimately my decision came down between the Gingo 4 and the Verso 3. The Gingo and the Verso are very similar comfort-wise and feel-wise, but there are a few key differences. The Gingo comes in at 3.5 kilograms and has foam back protection. The Verso comes in at 3.9 kilograms and has air back protection. This fills with air when you start flying, and that is what protects you if you impact the ground. It's also reversible, so that is one of the main differences, and I went back and forth because I liked the idea that the Verso is reversible, but ultimately I decided to go with the foam back protection because I felt more confident with that. And my main priority right now is not hike and flying, and so having a reversible harness is kind of irrelevant for what I'm doing right now. And I'm never just going to be wearing the harness as a backpack. I'm going to be throwing in the harness and my glider in one bag and carrying that all together. Even though the Gingo is not reversible, it does compress down really nicely, and it easily fits in a pack with a glider. You can throw that on your back and be ready to go. It's also just a little bit lighter weight than the Verso, so there is that. The Gingo was definitely one of the most comfortable harnesses that I was able to try, and it just fit me really well. And I think that's one of the most important things to look for when you're choosing your first harness. Also, with the foam, that just instills a lot of confidence for me, and learning how to paraglide, I think adding that extra confidence is key. Not only is the Gingo comfortable when I'm flying, but also kiting is very comfortable, and that's one of the things I'm really working on now, is just control kiting, the transition to flight, and then also flying is super comfortable for me in this harness. This is the Gingo harness, and it's super comfortable even for long kiting sessions. I also prefer a stirrup, and Superfly was able to easily add that for me. It just adds predictability and smoothness while you're transitioning to flight. Both the Gingo and the Verso were great options for me personally, but they may not be the best for you. The best thing you can do is go to your local dealer and try different harnesses, try different brands, and see what feels and fits you the best. If that's not an option, Superfly will send you multiple harnesses, and you can hang in them and try them and see how they feel, and then you can keep the one that fits you the best. Be sure to check out my first choice, the Gingo harness, but also check out the other options and see what works well for you. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and we'll get back to you. Also, if you're wondering where we are and what we're up to, check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Adventure Rig. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Callie with Adventure Rig. This is the Gingo harness, and I have it paired with the Calypso glider. This has been my go-to setup the last few weeks, and I've been loving it. Super fun, whether we're in the air or kiting.